Baldwin will separate. False.
I do want to preface this by saying I was just in my beginning stages of learning psychic powers back then.
How many did he get wrong? All of them?
Well, we'll see here. This is just the 5 that he made. So, so he's 0 for 1. Maybe things will turn around here. Prediction number 2 that Jbird made. Both Jeff Lynne from ELO and Betty White will die.
Sorry, Jeff and Betty. No disrespect.
They're like, we're fine.
And I'm glad to hear that.
Jbird's predictions number 3 for the upcoming year. The New York Yankees will win the World Series this year.
They got close. And that was a big cheating scandal, too.
Okay. Prediction number 4. Taylor Swift will be sued for copyright infringement.
She didn't get sued? Was there talks of suing? Am I reaching? I don't know.
You're reaching.
Yeah.
Am I close?
And prediction number 5. A major female celebrity from 90s comedy will have a hashtag MeToo scandal. In the words of Jbird, nailed it.
0 for 5. That sounds like one of my baseball games when
Aww.
I was in college.
0 for?
How'd you do, Jay? 0 for 5.
0 for 5. Okay.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beat. So don't get her pissed. It's Jason talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, here we go. It is the KVJ show. Hello and good morning. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing here?
Good morning.
You guys look like you're a lot more spunky than you were yesterday.
I got a nice nap yesterday.
You did? Okay,
oh
good.
Oh, my gosh.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. It's a life changer, that sleep.
It really is. And if you don't get enough of it, your body kind of like starts to tweak out and you start to like hallucinate and
It'll tell you about it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah. It's good. Looks like everybody's fully recharged and ready to go here for Tuesday.
Oh, that's right, baby.
Yeah.
Locked and loaded.
We need to start working for those 4-day work weeks and get that Monday off. Of course, then I have a feeling then Tuesdays would start being bad.
Right?
So maybe we need to stick with the Mondays.
Maybe I just need to not turn it up like a rock star on Sunday and think that I'm like still in the band.
Well, it's impressive.
My band years are behind me.
You know, Aerosmith's looking for a drummer. Maybe you could fit that bill. Well, if you want to check us out, see just how fresh we look, you can check us out on Kvj TV right now on YouTube. It's easy to do. If you have got anything from an Apple TV to the Roku to the Fire Sticks to the X1 DVR from Xfinity, you just go to YouTube, look for the KVJ show, and it's right there. Subscribe. It's going to pop up every single day. Watch it on your flat screen TVs and then take us with you when you leave the house. They have a free YouTube app. You can pop it on, plug it into your car, and listen to the KVJ show that way. So it's an easy way to listen to us. And, of course, always on the radio every single morning, 6 to 10 on the weekdays.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away. Because you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, everybody is definitely still talking about the details from Kobe Bryant and the helicopter crash. Lots of pilots are now commenting and saying that they think they may realize what happened. You know, initially when we heard the news, everybody was like, well, was it pilot error because of the fog, or was it some kind of mechanical failure of the helicopter? Several experienced helicopter pilots that were in the LA area are now commenting on it, and they believe that it was because of the fog.
Yeah.
They say that the pilot maybe got disoriented and the fog was super thick because at one point he was super low, and it sounds like he realized he was too low and quickly ascended, but kind of like panicked because he's like, oh my gosh, I mean, like, I'm just a couple of 100 feet from the ground, and he had no idea
Because of the fog.
And when he ascended, he believed that he had cleared the mountain, But actually, there was another mountain that he had not cleared, and they think that's what happened. He thought he cleared the mountain, and he did not.
I know you like taking helicopter rides.
Not anymore, I don't.
Does this freak you out enough to where you'd probably never get in a helicopter again?
When my friend died in the helicopter crash, I decided I wasn't going to go in a helicopter anymore. Because my friend, much like Kobe's helicopter pilot, was experienced and was a flight instructor. And I just think that, sometimes you can have the best prepared pilot, but things are out of your control. The fog was out of their control. The mechanical failure was out of the control of my friend that died. So it's just... It kind of gave me like a whoa. You don't need to be in a helicopter.
And I figure you gotta be mentally ready to fly when you are. I mean, could you imagine you flying a helicopter when you're having a bad day? There's no way you could concentrate, could you?
I don't know.
I'm talking about you personally.
Everybody has bad days, but yeah, I mean, what if the flight instructor was having a bad day?
Well, the thing I wonder about this, yes, he was experienced, but the LAPD had grounded their fleet because they said this is not flying conditions. And I wonder in some of these cases how often when you are chauffeuring around a celebrity passenger that you don't sometimes let your ego get to you. If you are experienced as a pilot and you've got Kobe Bryant and he wants to get somewhere and you're like, I'm good enough, I can do this. I know LAPD that they're not flying their helicopters because they're concerned about the visibility, but I'm better than that.
I don't think he knew that the LAPD had grounded their helicopters because they took off around the LAPD ones grounded right around the same time that Kobe's took off. So they may have not had that information, and they were cleared to take off.
Yeah.
From the tower that cleared them. They had a flight plan. They had everything put together. So they got clearance to take off. They may not have even known the LAPD grounded theirs.
I'd be interested to hear about the decision to give them clearance and what happens with that and if there might not be new regulations put in place. Like I said, I was talking about this yesterday. That fog in that area is no joke. It's something I've never seen before, and it's a weird phenomenon to just the weather that they have in that area. That you're like, there's fog and then there's this. And it's a different level.
And it sounds like maybe they should have new regulations that nobody takes off in fog.
When
like
I
this.
saw that photo, I couldn't believe that they were allowing a helicopter to fly with those hills, the way they pop up and the visibility being what it was, which is next to nothing, that you would allow someone to fly, especially even at a certain height level. I mean, to me, your height level would have to be at least probably a good couple hundred feet above
the tallest mountain.
The tallest mountain.
Right.
And if you were flight control, you'd be like, you can't fly at that height in that area. I don't know anything about it. To me, it's perplexing.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think they have to make some changes, and maybe that'll be the good that comes from this,
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible.
It's a tragedy.
No one can rationalize, really what happened. But I think the one thing about it and what you can do in these type of situations is carry on somebody's legacy. LeBron was talking about that in an Instagram post about how you carry on the legacy. I saw a lot of hashtag Mamba mentality. And yesterday I was talking about how Kobe Bryant, the mindset he took on every project he did, no matter what it wasn't just basketball, it was even being a father, but he just gave his best for everything. He was not lazy, was never lazy. And if there's anything else, there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to be raised and growing up, and hopefully that Mamba mentality really sticks to people to say you can honor Kobe Bryant and how you live your life and live the way that he did and the way you take on projects.
Prince Andrew, they say, is not cooperating with the investigators that want to talk to him again as a part of the whole Jeffrey Epstein probe. Originally, he had said he wanted to cooperate, but they're like, nope, so far we're trying to get him to sit down with the FBI and the prosecutors, and he has provided zero cooperation. He announced last year that he was going to withdraw from the royal family. A lot of withdrawal from the royal family.
A lot of people don't want to be in it. If they're taking anybody on, I'm free.
Right? I'm happy to be a princess.
Yeah, so if they're recruiting, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so stay tuned. I don't know if the FBI wants to talk to you and you say no, what happens next?
I think they tap the phones. I think they start to follow you.
Yeah, I don't think you can say no if they want to figure out what happened, especially, there's a lot of money here that they want to be able to give to his victims from his estate.
Yeah.
And if they don't have some kind of closure to all this and figure out, okay, what exactly happened to these young girls when they were 16 and 17 and 15?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these girls do deserve to get a chunk of that estate. And there's a lot of Epstein estate money.
Yeah, I don't know when you have the right to force somebody to testify or give any explanation, anything. Citizenship is also a issue there as well.
True.
Make no mistake, though. If the FBI wants to hear you, they'll tap the phones, baby. According to every movie I watch about phone tapping.
And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day. Brought to you by Brew Bowl. It happens this Saturday at the Fit Team Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. It's going to be all kinds of beer sampling and fun. Kevin is going to be out there, your beer master of ceremonies.
Yes,
so
I will be.
make sure you have plans to go on out. Tickets start at just $50, and you can get them.
Actually, starting at they did a new thing. They got $30 tickets now.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I'll let you know.
$30.
Yeah, they got $30 tickets on sale with the promo code Beer30 for the $30.
That's a country song, too.
Beer 30?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you go Beer 30, you get $30 tickets when you go to fitteamballpark.com for a very limited time. So jump on those super fast because they threw out a little blocking of $30 tickets you can get.
Nice. And that's what's going on.
It's time for viral audio.
So how's your kids? How's your wife?
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, the tributes continued on. There was just so many people yesterday, ESPN wall-to-wall talking about Kobe Bryant. It was just a whole day of tributes and friends of his that were talking about the life that he led and what it was like with Kobe. And it'll be interesting to see other recognitions that might come out. There's actually a petition right now to make Kobe Bryant the NBA logo. And it is a former Laker great, Jerry West, who is the current logo, but he's been the logo of the NBA since 1971. And so people are saying this would be a fitting tribute and a nice thing to do for Kobe Bryant. As of last night, there was over 1.5 million signatures to make this happen. I guess to try to persuade them, including Snoop Dogg, Justin Bieber, Meek Mill, Usher, all backing it. So it'll be interesting to see as a tribute if that'll happen. And pretty much every celebrity who either did or even did not have any interactions ever with Kobe Bryant were talking about it. Last night even they had the opening night for the Super Bowl at Marlins Park, and they were interviewing players from the Chiefs and the 49ers about it as well. And here's Jimmy Fallon giving his tearful take on a Kobe Bryant story.
I met Kobe when he was 17 and I was 21. He was a rookie on the Lakers, and I was just starting out in the comedy scene in LA. We were at a party and we didn't know anyone at the party, so we just started talking. And the guy that was having the party said, hey guys, who wants to make a beer run? Kobe wasn't drinking, he was 17, so he goes, I'll do it. He goes, Jimmy, you want to come? So I go, okay. We saved the party, we said goodnight, and of course, Kobe went on to become a legend. And when we'd run into each other over the years, we'd laugh about that night that we first met. And we'd laugh at all the good things that had happened since. And we'd laugh about how much fun it was to raise kids and all the stupid mistakes we made trying to figure out how to be good dads.
Oh, man, that's tough stuff. So there you go. Just some of the tributes continue to roll in for Kobe Bryant.
Looking for some KVJ merchandise and swag? Go to kvjshow.com and click KVJ Gear.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you got in your mind today, Jbird?
Not to sound old and out of touch, but can somebody please explain what this is? I'm probably dumb as well. That whole challenge where it's the LinkedIn, the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Tinder. People keep sending me all of these memes, and I don't understand. I'm trying to get the joke. I was even Googling, what does each of this mean? And I just gave up. So is the Tinder what your sexiest picture?
Yeah, it's called the Dolly Parton Challenge.
All right.
Because Dolly did it first. And you put an Instagram picture, a Facebook picture, a Tinder picture.
And a LinkedIn, okay.
And a LinkedIn picture.
But what does each of them, what are they supposed to represent?
One is professional, one is sweet and innocent, one is like, wow, look at me. And then the Tinder is like sexy.
Okay.
But there are a lot of people that don't really get it, that's making it confusing, and they're just posting 4 photos and putting whatever the name is, I don't think a lot of people really get it. I've seen so many that there's no difference between any of the photos, and if you're trying to guess which one was supposed to be their LinkedIn versus their Tinder, they look exactly the same.
I guess that's why I'm confused, because people are sending me ones where it's chicken tenders are the LinkedIn and chicken nuggets are Instagram.
Yeah.
Or they'll do a pizza.
A lot of people
one.
are blowing it and they're making it confusing.
I'm so confused. I don't understand.
I don't get that.
Well, look at that one. It's got nuggets for Facebook, more nuggets for LinkedIn.
They're just being silly.
Chicken cutlet. But no, everybody's doing it, and it's confusing. Did you do it yet?
I did.
Okay.
Panda helped me do it.
I thought I did see yours, and I thought it kind of confused me.
Panda did it, and he didn't really understand what it was at first, so we had to change it.
All right.
But now I think it looks right.
Okay, so if I did a LinkedIn, that would be my professional picture, Kevin. I don't know if I have any of those. What would be my professional picture?
Probably you with headphones on.
Okay.
Like a microphone close by.
And the one I don't get is Facebook's what, innocent? That's the least. You said Facebook's where you put your innocent picture or your...
Yeah, Facebook is like a sweet picture.
That'd probably be more the family.
Yeah.
Instagram might be you're living your best life.
Like crazy, like, yeah, look at me.
Yeah, your Tinder is your sexiest, and the LinkedIn's professional.
I don't know about y'all, but I want to see the Kevin Ralston do this thing. I know we're about 2 weeks late on this channel.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
I had to outsource it because it's a project.
Is it kind of? I'm trying to. I think it's dumb, right?
It is a little dumb.
And
but everybody was doing it, and I was just like, oh man, Panda has all these pictures. Panda actually likes making memes. And he's taken all these pictures of me. So I was like, oh, I'll see if he'll put it together for me since he has all the pictures.
Yeah, I saw one that was fast food restaurants. So why is Taco Bell Tinder? All right, I'm out.
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
What you got in your mind today, Virginia?
I thought this was a fascinating nugget, talking about the whole Kobe Bryant thing. Did you realize that he and his wife, Vanessa, had a deal that they would never, ever fly on a helicopter together?
I did not until I saw that, but that is kind of interesting, and it makes some sense.
Right. That's crazy. But they had a deal, and the pilot that he used, he would only fly with this pilot, and he would never fly with his wife. They had a deal. They wouldn't do that.
Well, that, to me, I thought was rather interesting because you would think, did they not ever have, like, a date night? Because I think the reason why he was using it, in fact, there was an interview from 2018, maybe we can pull the audio for, where he was talking about why he decided to start taking the helicopters. And from, we touched on it briefly yesterday because we assumed that's what it was, is that the traffic in Los Angeles and from where he is to where he would go, sometimes if you get bad traffic, it could be 2.5 hours.
Right.
And he realized he was spending so much time in traffic, he'd rather be able to pick his kids up from school and drop them off in the morning, and sitting in traffic, he was unable to do that. Like, he could do the trip that it would take 2.5 hours by car and 15 minutes in a helicopter.
It is sexy.
Yes, but
I get it.
That was the thing I wondered. So let's say that he's taking her and they're going to a theater show or something like that. They would never
ride in a helicopter together.
Yeah.
Maybe for date night they just would drive,
Maybe.
And maybe the times that he was traveling were the worst times. The times that you'd be finishing practice and heading to get your kids from school. That seems like rush hour.
Yeah, I do remember weekend nights weren't as bad. Like, you could zip through pretty quickly if you're doing something like that. It's usually just your
I just thought that was fascinating. I mean, it just gives you a peek into, he was a smart guy. He figured stuff out, and he wanted to have a plan in case something terrible like this ever happened.
Do you and Panda have a deal, like any kind of deal where you can't do something while he does something? Is there anything like that?
We're not smart. We need to work out a deal. Yeah, I mean, we travel together all the time, and I think that's like, ugh, if anything happens and we're on a plane together and it goes down, and that's scary stuff, but we're both gone.
Yeah, it was, like I was bringing up yesterday, though, it just goes to show you how amazing, and to me, the difference in safety between, professional and the private aircraft sector that is out there when you start looking at all the celebrities that have died in private aircraft.
Right.
Yeah, you're just a lot safer. I mean, when was the last time that, at least we've had a U.S. domestic flight that has had any kind of issues whatsoever? So, yeah, it is kind of a big difference. So, Yeah, it is a lot of stuff going on with that. What I got on my mind is just a lot of Super Bowl stuff. Very excited about that. You had last night, they did the kickoff, the official celebration for the Super Bowl. I was at Marlins Park, and they had all the teams out there doing that. It was quite a occasion. I'm sure they've got something tonight.
I was talking to a few people yesterday, and they were talking about how they could not give a crap about the Super Bowl. And I wanted to ask you, you being such a football fan, and I know you don't know the answer, but if you had to estimate, how many people in the country do you think really care about the Super Bowl that's going to watch it? And then how many people are like, who gives a crap? If you had to guess, do you think it's half?
Well, I mean, as far as numbers, I don't know that it's half, but, typically your viewership is about 110 million that'll watch it. And even of the 110 million that are watching it, a lot of them are doing so. I think it's like 40% of the people who even watch that care more about the commercials. So, yeah, the amount of people that really care about the game, probably 50 to 60 million. And in the grand scheme of the U.S. population, it's not a lot. It's still, it's the biggest event on television you have every single year. But in the grand scheme of our life, it's not that massive.
Other than WrestleMania, of course.
WrestleMania, yes. So that is going to be going on. And then you've got the NFL Experience that is going to be kicking off again on Wednesday. If you want to take the kids out to check that out, we are going to have on our e-blast. You can go and see all the cool things that is going on there. I was just looking like right now, some of the photos. We got some cool stuff that you can go and see. That was from everything that they had at the Experience. The one thing I will tell you is the prices that they have there at the NFL Experience, ridiculous. My son, we were getting ready to buy a pullover for him. He's, for some reason, a 49ers fan. And my wife was in line to get this pullover he wanted. Luckily, she checked the price tag before she got up there. $395.
What?
That's what I felt when we went to the Panther game. I was going to buy a jersey, and the jersey was, I'm like, I'm not buying a jersey. It was so much money.
Yeah, I will tell you. So that is kind of the hint for anybody who steps foot into any of these activities with your kids. Try to make a compromise and say, hey, find what it is you want here and then go online. Because my wife went online. She found that exact pullover for $80.
Wow. You do get better deals online. You really can.
Yes. So that would be my parental hack. If you're taking your kid to any of these activities, they will see merchandise that they will absolutely want. But the best thing to do is say, okay, you can kind of shop here, pick out what you want, and then I'll go find it online after we get home. That is the best way to handle it.
Yeah, $80 or almost $400.
Yes.
Seems like a no-brainer.
Well, coming up here, we got Super Bowl action all week long, and I've got some Super Bowl fact or fiction for you. What do you think about this? Fact or fiction? For the first 3 Super Bowls that they had in Miami, there were no tickets. Anybody could just walk in and sit anywhere they wanted free of charge.
Totally a fact.
Totally a fact, you think. Okay, is that fact or is that fiction? I'll put your guys' knowledge to the test next.
It's time to gain some knowledge. You learn more here than you would in college. We're the smartest radio station. We are the leaders in education. Is it truth? Is it lies? Kevin's the host. He's got beady eyes. Fact or fiction?
All right, what do you think here? Fact or fiction, Super Bowl edition. What do you think about this, Virginia? With the Super Bowl in 2020, Miami is going to be holding the record for hosting the most Super Bowls. Is that fact or fiction?
I'm going to say fiction.
You are going to say fiction on that, and I am going to say that you are wrong. That is a fact.
Really?
Yes.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, this is going to be Miami's 11th. It's breaking the tie that they have with New Orleans, your hometown.
Okay.
At 10. But New Orleans is going to tie Miami in 2024 because they're going to be hosting their 11th Super Bowl then before Miami gets another one. So, yeah, so Miami goes into the sole lead after this Super Bowl, but New Orleans is going to catch back up. All right, fact or fiction here, Jbird. The stadium housing this year's Super Bowl has already had 5 different names. Talking about Hard Rock Stadium. Fact or fiction?
Only talking fact.
Gonna say fact on that? No, that is fiction.
It's the Joe Robbie place that always changes the names.
It does. It's the same place, though.
It's the same place?
Yes, it is.
I'm backing out of this whole conversation because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
It's amazing how little you know of South Florida.
I know so little. I really do.
Yes, Joe Robbie Stadium was the first name. Then it became Pro Player Park, then Pro Player Stadium, then Dolphins Stadium, then Landshark Stadium, Sun Life Stadium, New Miami Stadium, and now it's Hard Rock Stadium, and it will be till 2034.
It's very silly.
8 names.
That's a lot.
That is too many. So that's, So 5 is fiction. It's 8 is how many that stadium has had.
All right, come on, Virginia. Let's get this. We're 0 for 1.
I'm trying.
You guys are not doing very well with your sports knowledge. I'm going to
as
have
a
to bring
team.
Dennys in here to get some right.
He is not good at football stuff.
Fact or fiction, Virginia. For the first 3 Super Bowls in Miami, there were no tickets, and anyone could just walk in and sit anywhere they wanted free of charge. Fact or fiction?
Jbird thinks it's fact.
Okay.
With such confidence.
But I'm not asking him.
Play as a team.
He wants us to be a team until I get another one wrong, and then he's going to flip on me.
Yeah.
I'll say fact.
Gonna say fact. I'm gonna say that you are
Damn it, Bird!
Yeah.
What the hell?
I thought I knew.
Lead me down the path of wrong.
I think he's already showing you he doesn't know a lot on this subject.
All right, that's it. We're not a team
All right,
anymore.
we're breaking up.
Yeah, ticket prices for the first 3 Super Bowl games, including the 68 and 69 games at the Orange Bowl, were $12.
Okay.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Now we're looking at about $6,000 for upper level.
Yeah, that's your crappy seats, $6,000.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about this, Jbird? Fact or fiction? The first 3 Super Bowls weren't even on TV in South Florida, even though the game was being played here.
That, my friend, is what we call a factoid.
Okay, you finally got one right.
Yay!
Yeah, imagine that. You couldn't even watch the first couple Super Bowls in South Florida. The live TV broadcast of the first 3 Super Bowls were blacked out within 75 miles of the Orange Bowl, where they played those Super Bowls. So if you wanted to see the 1968, 69, and 71 games, you had to book a hotel room in Fort Myers or Fort Pierce in Orlando to watch the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they weren't showing it in West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, or Miami because it was blacked out because they didn't sell out the games. All right. Back to you, Virginia. Let's see if you can actually get one right here. Super Bowl fact or fiction. Despite strong viewership each year, no Super Bowl currently ranks in the list of the top 10 shows of all time. Fact or fiction?
I'll say fiction.
Jbird does not think you are correct. Wow.
I don't.
He's shaking his head. He's like, Virginia, you blew it. You are correct.
I mean, it's really difficult to be this bad.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 game. You got a 50-50 shot.
You got it right.
I know, but I almost listened to you again.
Well, there's a lesson in this.
What's the takeaway?
I can't believe you listened to me on the first one.
I know. Of the top 10 most watched American television programs of all time, 9 of them are Super Bowls.
Oh, wow.
Bird, can I guess the one that's not?
Yeah.
Only Talking MASH.
That is correct. Yes, the finale of MASH still in the top 10.
And now he's just showing off.
I mean,
Yes.
extra credit.
He wants a point for that.
Most watched Super Bowl was Super Bowl 49 with the Seahawks and Patriots. That got 114 plus million viewers on that one. All right, final one here, Jbird. Super Bowl fact or fiction. No Florida marching band has ever performed a Super Bowl national anthem or halftime show. Fact or fiction?
Ooh, I know my Florida facts. I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
go
do.
with,
You're a native.
that is without a doubt fiction.
That is without
Our
a doubt.
marching band's done a lot.
They have. Huh?
They have.
Okay, you are correct. That is fiction.
I mean, this beat you.
Yeah. Florida A&M and Florida State have also been asked. So,
Yeah.
There you go. So a couple have early on. Now anymore, they have major recording stars like your Demi Lovato that is going to be doing all the stuff on
Oh,
that.
she's going to nail it.
Got some celebrities having a birthday today. Big ol' happy birthday. We got for J. Cole, one of my daughter's favorites. He's 35 today, hip-hop star, R&B. Also, Elijah Wood is 39 today. Remember him from Lord of the Rings movies. He's one of the hobbits. Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys hits 40, the big 4-0. All these boy band guys are now middle-aged.
Boy men.
Yeah. Joey Fatone, too, from NSYNC is 43 today. Miami hip-hop star Rick Ross turns 44, and he's going to be all over the place this week for the Super Bowl. He's got several events booked. And Sarah McLachlan is 52. She's known so much for taking care of animals.
Don't watch that commercial late at night.
It's tough.
Oh, it's real tough. I haven't seen it around as much. I think it's depressing everybody.
Also got a birthday shout-out to Piper turning 8. She gets to play hooky from school tomorrow to go to the fair.
Ooh.
Mom, Dad, and Logan.
Nice.
That's a great birthday surprise.
Isn't
That is
today
pretty cool.
$2 Tuesday?
Yes, $2 Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean exactly?
Everything's $2, so the rides, all kinds of stuff that's normally a little bit more than that is only $2, which is a great deal.
Even the food?
I don't know about all the food, but I know certain things. It's going to be packed, though, so get there early.
So leave now. Happy 26th birthday to Princess Alyssa from Jaylyn and Stephanie. Got a birthday shout out to Adriana. The complimentary piece to my heart
Aww.
from Nicholas, her burly, tamed lumberjack. Also, happy birthday, Susie from Alex, Christina, Cecilia, and your fur babies, Mojito and Kalua. Also, shout out to my wife, Vanessa Mohan. She's a big fan of you guys. Turns 38. Love Lily, Liam, Richie, and her dog, Finn. And a birthday shout out to my son, Zachary, from Mom, Dad, Daniel, Uncle Matt, and Papa. So there you go. Got a birthday you want to get it to the KVJ Show, let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com. MAIL at kvjshow.com. Virginia Jbird let me know that he has been working on his Spanish as well.
Really?
Yeah.
See.
More than just the Taco Bell menu?
Beginning stages, of course, but one the Kevin Ralston inspired me.
Really? So what have you been doing?
Looking up vocabulary words, trying to get the basic, just gist of it in the beginning.
Okay.
The beginning foundation of it, if you will.
The beginning foundation. Okay.
That makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. You said you feel like you've made great strides, though, and you think that you might be toe-to-toe with where I've been in my training.
I'm calling out Kevin Ralston because I don't think he's as good as he's saying he is. I think
I ain't even said I'm good.
But I think you've been doing that one app forever. I think I got you.
He said the other day he's been doing the app forever. He doesn't feel like he's that good.
Yes.
He went on record.
Yes. I've officially stated I don't feel like I'm that good.
I don't listen well.
He said he feels like he should be better.
I feel like I should be a lot better. But yeah, this might be something that really puts it all in perspective. Jbird has just been looking up a few vocab words.
So who sucks more?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Well, apparently now we have multiple people on a quest to learn Espanol.
And the number has grown to dos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got one of the Spanish apps, and last year I've been trying to, as much as I can, try to get on it, learn a little bit about Espanol, as we have more and more Spanish speakers here in South Florida, and you see the language more and more. Just kind of have a little bit of an idea what's going on.
The tricky part for me is I feel like sometimes in English, we're saying, like the way we say it is in the beginning, and sometimes it's flipped in Spanish. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
That didn't make sense. That was tough to explain.
Your English translation is not easy to comprehend.
Can you translate that?
Can you put that in like real words?
Are you able to translate my English to English? Even I was confused at what I just said.
Oh.
What?
I just feel like it's flipped on Spanish versus
Yeah,
English.
they do. Yeah,
Okay, a lot.
the sentence structure in Spanish is, sometimes for an English speaker, it's confusing.
And it's not on every time, though. It's like sometimes you flip it and sometimes you don't, which makes it tricky.
That's the problem for me, is because I'm trying to learn on an app, and they'll do things, and a lot of times I don't understand why. So I'm like, why is it that way? I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, there are some things that happen between the two languages that don't make a lot of sense. So we'll see exactly where we are here. This is a basic vocabulary quiz. Virginia is going to be our host here for this to see exactly who knows more.
He's already suspect.
What's going on over there?
I think Virginia's pulled out some hot sauce.
Man, are we doing hot sauce? All right, I'm not going to complain because people don't like when I complain, but I'm allergic to hot sauce.
Yeah, we have established on the show that you turn bright red
I'm allergic.
and have a skin reaction to hot sauce.
Yes, let's do it. So what?
So why not? Yeah.
So if I miss it, what? I got to drink it?
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
So weird how Virginia escapes everything. Isn't that weird, though? It is odd how the witch...
I'm hosting.
She's pretty blessed.
She's just living her witchiest life.
She is pretty blessed. Yes. Okay, so Virginia is going to fire, what, a word, a Spanish word, and we just got to say what it means in English. Is that how we're doing this?
So she's actually running the test?
I believe so, because I can't myself. I got to be part of this, right? So this is what happens when I can't play and host.
This is all the power I've ever prayed for.
Got to trust Virginia to do a great job here,
In
Jbird.
uno momento, all the power I've ever prayed for.
Okay. All right, we'll see what we do here. Virginia, you can start with me, and then Jbird will follow up here. We'll see how well we translate.
Okay, Kevin.
Okay.
Your word is sombrero.
Oh, my gosh. You got to be crapping me.
Like I said, this is in Virginia's hands, so the difficulty level and all that stuff, she sorts it all out. That would be hat.
Correct, Kevin.
Okay.
That is hat. Nice job.
Okay, let's start it easy.
Gosh,
Round one was pretty easy.
I'm already sweating because I loathe hot sauce. I mean, just loathe it. My day's ruined now.
Well, just, you know what? Don't miss any.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Get it right.
I got to tell you, round one was very easy.
Very easy.
I think you'll be all right.
Very
Jbird.
facile. Very facile. We facile. Very easy.
Okay.
Right.
Jbird, your word, la gorra. This is something that you rock a lot.
La Gora?
La gorra.
I rock it or he rocks it?
You do.
I do?
Yeah.
Face wrinkles?
Face wrinkles.
Lagora?
I'm so sorry.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Your la gorra is covered in stains.
Oh, shirt. No, it's not shirt. Shirt's camisa. Lagorta is underwear. Just give me the hot sauce.
It's actually ball cap.
Oh, because that's such a common one. He gets hat.
Sombrero. Yeah.
I gotta get a chick. Oh, gosh. I hate to say, do we have any tequila?
You want to do that for your show?
I don't know. I don't.
El aguardiente?
We have aguardiente.
Aguardiente.
I don't know, man. Gosh, my stomach.
Yeah. One or the other. Okay. La Gora. Okay, that was, you definitely got the tougher one than I did.
Definitely. It just luck of the draw.
Yes, that's just how it went, huh?
Came up
Okay.
with that.
We'll do at least 3 rounds here. We'll see how it goes. Round 2 here. What is my Spanish vocabulary word, Virginia?
Kevin, your word is los zapatos.
The shoes.
Yay! It is the shoes.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. You know what? Hot sauce isn't that bad. You can't rattle this bird.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Round 2 seemed easy.
Can't ruffle these feathers.
Okay. What is Jbird's word here in round 2, Virginia?
Round 2 for you, Jbird. Tell me, what is los...
Can you learn Spanish first before you host the game? I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, I'm walking into sudden death. By the way, you killed that game, and now you're...
What do we have over there, Virginia?
Los guantes. Los guantes.
Los guantes.
I don't even think she's saying it right.
Jeez.
I think I am.
Los.
I'm kind of nailing it.
Okay. Los guantes.
Guantes.
Los squantes? Or
Los guantes.
Guantes. G.
Guantes.
Los guantes.
Guantes.
Los guantes means window.
We're in, I'll give you the category. We're still in clothing.
Los Guantos means...
Los guantes.
Los
guantes. It's a clothing item.
Yes, it's a shawl. Final answer. Am I close?
It's not a shawl.
I know pantalones. I know
pantalones. See?
It's gloves. I'm so sorry. We hate to have to give you another shot of hot sauce, but
I can tell you, I have nothing to do with this game, so everybody's going to be screaming Riggy.
Just know, though, it was Kevin in Virginia before it was KVJ. You had a good 5-year run. There's a loyalty there.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're trying to see who knows more on their Spanish. Jbird, you got 2 tough ones.
All right, cheers.
Okay.
Ooh, down the hatch. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Virginia.
Possibly the last round here. Virginia, what do you have for my Spanish vocabulary word here?
Okay, we're moving down to animals. So you love animals, Bert.
Animales.
Animales. Los animales. Your word, Kevin, is el perro.
I mean... But I can't complain, because all these Johnny-come-latelys on Twitter, all Bird does is bitch.
El perro is the dog.
It is the dog.
Okay.
I work with a bunch of pedos.
Are you okay?
No! I am allergic to the very large shots, by the way.
Is Virginia pouring these?
Oh, you would think she was drinking on Friday. She's pouring a real heavy hand here. You know what, though? I'm having a great time. I'm not rattled.
You're doing great.
I'm not rattled.
You're in this. Okay.
Wrong day to wear a ski cap. It's really hot.
You're getting hot.
Oh, no, it's hot.
Yes. Your
Yeah.
body temperature's rising.
You
Okay.
should have worn a Lagora ball cap.
Okay. All right, Virginia, Jbird's third word here.
Okay, your third word. Now,
okay.
Animals. We're in the animals. You love animals.
Well, first of all, with the fake positivity, get that out the window. Get it out. It's not helping.
La cabra. La cabra.
La cabra is a chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Cabra.
La cabra.
La cabra.
La cabra. Look at that La cabra run. With that La cabra scampering.
La cabra.
Snake. Cobra.
Ah, it's close to cobra.
The cobra.
It's not the cobra.
And you're not my friend.
La cabra is what?
It's a goat.
Okay. All right. Jbird, I will let you do your final shot of hot sauce there, and I'll let you off the hook.
Oh, thanks, Kev.
You're getting some challenging words there.
Nah, I thought that was a really fair contest.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, no, I think
Came
that was
out weird.
Thought that was very fair, not at all one-sided.
Yes. Okay. Well, that game really was just Jbird drinking hot sauce. Is really what that was.
I said that idea to him earlier today. That'll be a cute little vocab game.
Yeah, I thought it would be a cute little vocab game.
I went to go get a drink. What happened?
The room turns quick when you leave.
No, it was just, well, I mean, I can't host and play, so, I mean, that's kind of the issues is, you know, when I am out of the...
Yeah, it's all good. I was just...
Oh, okay. All right. Give you a chance to recover there.
But I think we've all learned some Spanish today,
La
right?
cabra, goat, yes.
La cabra
That's kind of
goat.
an offshoot. I don't know if I've really handled goat much. So, yeah, that was good to know. How you doing, Jbird? You know,
I'm trying to keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it down?
I'm trying to keep... I'm trying to keep it... Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, did Sarah handle this the right way? She sent an email to the KVJ Show, mail at kvjshow.com. It says, "Don't call me grandma." She said, "I wanted to offer a handy hint to people. Never assume anyone's age, ever. I'm 42, not young by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly not old. I've got 2 sons, 13 and 9. And the other day, I'm at the grocery store with my kids when the cashier asked me how I like having grandchildren.
Oh.
I said I would know. I don't have any grandkids. Just how old do you think I am, you D?"
Oh, no.
I really didn't mean for that to come out of my mouth. but somehow it did. So maybe this is just something that I have to get used to at my age. So I'm just wondering, how out of line was the cashier compared to my response? So is that something that after you hit the age of 40 and you've got kids that you might be mistaken for being their grandmother?
The cashier was out of line, but I bet you anything the cashier was young. And super young people don't really have a good gauge on that.
And sometimes, as I've learned, some people, you think they're being mean, but they're really not. They're just kind of dumb a little bit. They don't know the gauge of what you should and shouldn't say, and they're not even trying to be mean.
He's right.
There are some things in life that unfortunately you have to learn the hard way, and I think that foot and mouth thing is something that when you do it and it's that awful and you get called out and called AD, that you might be like, okay.
Now, if you were deliberately trying to call her a grandma to make her feel bad, you are a D. But sometimes you're just trying to make... I know that's happened to me before. You're just trying to make small conversation. You're like, oops, I did not mean to say that. I should just shut up.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. So, yeah, you probably were a little harsh, too.
But it was a good lesson for that cashier to learn as well. Now, I bet he won't say that again.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine how stunned he was? What?
If he's a kid, he probably felt bad.
Yeah.
Oh, if he's a kid today, he probably did. He probably went on Twitter and blasted her.
Yes, you're right. That's how they do things today. All right, $2 Tuesdays. That is a definite discount for you if you're going to the South Florida Fair today.
Yeah, I looked it up. So it's $2 rides, $2 admission, and $2 bites.
Okay.
Little small bites of food, little nuggets.
Very nice. Okay, so that is one thing that you can save some money on. And I'll give you another great event that you can save some money on, too. The Super Bowl Beer Fest that is going off at the 15 ballpark at the Palm Beaches on Saturday. I'm going to be out there. They got all the best craft beers, all your local breweries, some great national brands as well, wines and seltzers, and they got cocktails and everything.
And it's an officially sanctioned event
Yes, it is.
by the Super Bowl. And the Vince Lombardi Trophy is going to be there.
And Dolphins linebacker Raekwon McMillan is going to be there. I'm excited by that, too. So you can hang with Raekwon.
Nice.
So he's a fantastic dude, and you can actually go for free. We got a round of Dennys or Animal. Well, if you're an animal enthusiast, you're going to love this game. It's all about animal sounds and noises here. If you really know your animals, you can get this. It is Dennys or Animal here. Got a whole bunch of different animal sounds. You just got to tell us if this is the real animal making the noise or if it is our producer, Deniz, that is making this noise. And he got some tickets right now up for grabs to the Brew Bowl. It's going to be going on this Saturday. The South Florida Super Bowl Beer Fest is happening at 15 Ballpark at the Palm Beaches with craft beers, seltzers, wine, and spirits. Got some Dolphins players out there like Raekwon McMillan, and food and games, live music, all kinds of good stuff. That is a fun little place to have events. Other than just the baseball, they've done some really cool things out there at the 15 Ballpark at the Palm Beaches.
And they have a nice selection of hot dogs and toppings.
Yeah, they do.
I'm a big fan. I like a good hot dog game, and they've got one.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, one of the grossest things I saw in 2017 was a drunk Virginia. Devoured 2 of them in the parking lot. I was like, can this be over, please?
I hadn't eaten all day.
You would think it'd be hot. It wasn't hot at all, actually. No.
Virginian hot dog.
It was the opposite of hot.
Well, I was a little overserved. I kind of went overboard with the serve yourself relish.
She had already got to that point.
Relish,
Well,
huh?
she had got to that point where she starts to sound like Urkel from Family Matters. I'm Virginia. Like, oh, boy.
Why you even hang out with me?
Oh, because I need it.
Maria's on here from Jupiter. Hello, Marie.
Good morning.
Okay, are you ready to play a very tough round of Dennys or Animal?
I am.
Okay, we're going to start off here with the sounds of a coyote pack howling.
Wow.
Coyote pack howling. Okay, listen to this. Tell me, do you think this is a real coyote pack, or is this producer Dennys making this noise? Wow, that is crazy.
That's one of the most horrifying things I've ever heard in my life.
What the heck is that?
Imagine walking down the prairie and hearing that.
Whoa.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That's horrifying.
You know you're going to die.
Marie, what do you think? Is that Dennys or animal?
Can I hear it one more time, please?
Yes, you may. Wow. That's insane. Sounds like aliens. All right, what do you think? Is that Dennys or animal?
I have no idea. I'm going to say animal.
Gonna go with animal
that's
on
what
that?
I would say too. It felt like animal.
Guys, really? It's such an animal.
Dennys is good now, I'm telling you. That is the real animal, actually.
Yes.
You thought that was more obvious, Jbird.
It's so obvious.
Okay. Ooh. Here is a household pet parrot that we have here. A household pet parrot. These things are pretty amazing. These pet parrots. Two things I didn't ever realize about parrots. One, how old they live to be. They'll get into their 40s or 50s, some of them. And just how well they can mimic sounds.
And they can bring down murderers as well.
Yeah, if they hear something like that, they'll repeat it. So you got to watch what you say around these darn parrots. So what do you think? Is this a real household parrot or is this Dennys?
Rah, rah. I want a cracker. Rah, rah.
Okay. All right. What do you think about that, Marie? Is that Dennys or animal?
Definitely Denny.
Yes.
Definitely Dennys, she says. Okay, she's more confident about that one. Wow, 2 for 2. Look at you. Maria loves her animals, doesn't she? And this is going to be very sexy, regardless if this is Dennys or animal. This is the sound of gorillas about to mate.
Oh, my.
Man. So prepare for some sexiness here.
Wow. Okay. All right. What do you think? Is this Dennys or animal here, Marie? Wow. He is ready for it, isn't he?
You can hear the grass moving.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of digging out a nice little spot for him. And
Well, I think he's
about go time.
He was inspired because he saw those squirrels making love on my fence over the weekend. I think he might have been
A
inspired.
lot of mating going on this time of year for some reason. What do you think, Marie? Is that Dennys or animal?
I'm going to say Denny.
Okay. Sounds like you got a little question in your voice there, Marie. Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. You are correct. Very nice. That is a clean sweep. That is Dennys right there. This is actually Dennys about to mate. That's the other. Yeah. There you go.
Poor Jen.
Yeah.
I know Denny's had a couple drinks on Saturday. That's what he sounded like.
He came in ready to go. Now, Jbird is an animal lover. He's always talking about his dog, Chewy. Special needs dog. He's a little older, advanced in age, and there's all kinds of health issues that are happening right now with vision and hearing. And I believe, does he have to do some doggy insulin, you say?
I got to give it to him twice a day. Yes, he's got the diabetes.
Oh, okay. So he needs special shots and all that kind of stuff.
He does, and I had run out of. I was running low on my needles, so I went to a different place that I normally don't go. Big mistake. So when I go there, I don't have the prescription with me, and I'm saying, hey, I need some needles for my dog's insulin, and the woman working there goes, are they for your dog or are they for you? Just like that. I go, they're for my dog.
She thinks you're a heroin addict?
She goes, where's your prescription at? Of course, I don't have my prescription. And now I just need some needles for my dog, lady, please. She's like, I never got the needle. I have to go back today to a different place to get my needles.
She won't give you doggy
She did not
needles?
give me my dog needles. I did not have my prescription.
Wow.
I know.
Don't they call it in these days?
It was a weird thing. She said, go to your normal place you normally go to. She's not very friendly. I'll write it down where it was at, too.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah, it happened to my dad before, too. And
they really think that the needles are for you, and they have the balls to call you out
well,
in the store?
Do you remember a doctor that I went to a long time ago who sat before I even got into the office? He sat me down. It was my first meeting with him. He goes, So you're here for a physical, huh? I go, yeah. So you want steroids, don't you? You on steroids? I go, no. You on cocaine? Like all these really prying questions. Depending on where you go, people go. Like I guess at this place, people have gone there for needles for drug use. And they are very suspicious if you don't have your prescription with you.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess
How about that, huh?
It's happened in the past. I remember my dad coming home one day, not happy because he couldn't get needles because they questioned him about drug activity.
They thought Randy was on Smack?
I think it's happened so many different
Yeah.
times, depending on where you're at and who you're dealing with. I mean,
Dang.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't you order these in the mail and have them shipped to you?
I have specialty ones, so I get them at one place, and I've never had a problem. I was running around yesterday, and I wasn't near the place I was at, so I thought I'll go to the other sister place that
No.
you need a prescription. Dang. But then again, I've been to other places where you don't need a prescription. It's kind of like that restaurant we went to where that person brought in their sauce or their dressing, and they stopped them. It's up to the person in charge.
Individual management.
If individual management wants to pull rank, they're going to pull rank. It's a personality thing.
Dang. They profiled you.
I'm always getting profiled.
Yeah, Jamie said, yeah, people really do that. This happened last time I was at my vet. A couple was trying to get needles. The tech told me it happens all the time. The drug
Really?
abusers are going in there to vets trying to get needles.
She flat out said, "Is it for your dog or is it for you?" I was like, "What?" Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I thought she was kidding.
How about that? Yeah,
That's
if you
insane.
can't order them, I guess that's what you probably have to do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna just go to my regular place today. I know him there.
You look squirrely, but you don't look like a addict.
My Randy.
Randy
Really?
definitely
I know,
doesn't
right?
look like an addict.
They're questioning my dad.
Dang.
Oh, my dad was not happy about that.
And if you're looking for him, somebody said, I used to be a pharmacy tech, and there is no difference between the hypodermic needles for humans and for animals.
Oh.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
Because I have all these needles over here, but someone dropped them off to me. They're a different number on there. I don't feel good about it. I just want to get the regular needles that I'm used to, because those are cat needles. But then you have to do cat versus dog math.
There's cat needles?
I don't know, Virginia.
We'll give
Wow.
those to Dennys because he's got like 18 cats.
Yeah, she said that we had somebody buy needles and then they OD'd in the bathroom, and now you got to see a script.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Amanda said in Broward you have to have a script to get syringes.
And that's
In
totally.
Palm Beach you don't. But.
But that's totally fine if she wanted me to see my script and whatever, and she wanted to. But you don't say, "Is it for you or for the dog?" Though. You know what I mean?
Right. She should have said, I'm sorry, sir, but we can't sell them without a prescription. You have to give me your paperwork.
Now, with all that said, yesterday I looked like a zombie walking. I looked like I was on something.
All right. So are we back on her side?
I don't know. I was wearing pajamas.
She might have been right after all, huh? Okay.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, coming up in a second in your dirt, yeah, it sounds like lots of helicopter pilots that have experience in the LA fog are commenting on what exactly happened with the helicopter crash that Kobe Bryant and his daughter and 7 others were in. I'll share some of their analysis on the whole thing coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, though, Snoop Dogg, on a lighter note, loves to tell us all about his favorite foods to eat after he's had a little wacky tobacco.
Smoky smoke?
Yeah.
I like that ham you made with the glaze.
Yeah, sugar glaze.
Like, I took it home and ate it like 4 days after, too. It was some of that. That
Sugar, brown sugar, and cognac.
Yes, that old ham that you can, use 5 days later with a piece of bread and it tastes brand new. Mm. But she's a great
This is Martha Stewart, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
it is Martha.
waitress, I'll say. Is that waitress, because she knows how to serve a drink. And I'm not a drinker, right? But whenever I'm in the presence of Martha, I just somehow, some way get a glass of vodka or some sort of drink
And he
prepared
enjoys
for me.
it.
And I
He
really
enjoys
do.
it, yeah.
Sounds like they have a lovely time together.
I think the word he's looking for is hostess, not waitress. That's adorable. The first trailer for Beastie Boys' story, the documentary film, has been released. It was a show put on by the surviving members of Beastie Boys. And earlier this month, Apple TV secured the rights to it. It's directed by Spike Jonze, and it'll be in IMAX theaters. And then on Apple TV coming up April 24th. But everybody who's seen like the trailer say, oh, it looks so good. Especially if you love the Beastie Boys, you've got to make sure you check out Beastie Boys Story.
Okay, cool.
And finally here, several helicopter pilots that are familiar with LA and the terrain and the fog are now commenting on it. And they say, just looking at what happened, it sounds like Kobe Bryant's pilot was way too low, and it's because his abrupt change and his quick ascension that they believe that he had realized he was too low and then tried to make up for it and then thought he had cleared all the mountains, but actually there was still one mountain that he had not cleared, and that's the one that they hit. And that's what a lot of people are saying, that it was just that thick, thick fog. They kind of just lost their bearings, and he couldn't figure out where he was. And this helicopter pilot was extremely experienced and a flight instructor himself. So it just goes to show you that you can never be too careful with weather conditions.
No, yeah, that fog, you can't play with it. So it's kind of just crazy, the whole thing had happened. I understand why he was doing that. I mean, he talked a little bit about why he was taking the helicopter. He actually had done an interview and explained it. If you know anything about LA traffic, it legit, I mean, if you're frustrated by, Miami, where you could, sit in traffic for 90 minutes easily, it's sometimes 2.5 in Los Angeles.
Wow.
To get to where Kobe was to down to the Staples Center, it could be 2.5 hours in traffic. And so he explained why he was doing the helicopters in this interview.
Traffic started getting really, really bad, right? And I was sitting in traffic, and I wound up missing like a school play because I was sitting in traffic. And this thing just kept mounting. And I had to figure out a way where I could still train and focus, but still not compromise family time. And so that's when I looked into helicopters and be able to get down and back in 15 minutes. And that's when it started.
So it makes sense.
He and his wife did have a pact, though. They never took helicopters together because I guess if anything ever went wrong, like unfortunately it has, the children would not be parentless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was super smart of him to work that out ahead of time. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day. Brought to you by the Brew Bowl. It happens this Saturday at the Fit Team Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. You can grab your tickets now, and I believe they're on sale, right,
Yes,
Kev?
they are. They have a special deal that is going on here for a very limited time where you can get $30 tickets with the promo code BEER30. It's BEER30 for $30 tickets.
And then Kevin will see you out there this Saturday for Brew Bowl.
Coming up here in a second, I believe we've got Jillian giving us a little recap here. Remember, she was talking about her sister who wants to name her upcoming baby girl after what she found out to be a porn star name. Remember this conversation?
Yeah.
From yesterday?
My sister has always been like edgier than me, but she married this guy who is crazy. She's expecting her first baby, and it's a girl, but she told me her husband wants to name the baby Adrenaline. It's not only that the name is intense and weird. I mentioned it to my coworker, and y'all, he was like, Adrenaline, is like a famous porn star.
So she was wanting to know exactly how should she bring this up with her sister and try to say, hey, look, this is going to be my niece. Is there any way you would reconsider? I mean, just the name Adrenaline alone is kind of intense. But now knowing exactly what I know about this porn star, the movie she's been in, and that very discreet tattoo that she has, could we maybe reconsider? So she talked to her sister. What did she have to say? That's what we'll find out next. So imagine this. Your sister wants to name her baby girl after a well-known porn star who has been in such classics as Naughty Office 11 and Deeper 9, and she has her chocolate starfish tattooed. Okay, so Virginia agreed with Jillian that you should have an intervention, talk to your sister, and say, don't give her the name Adrenaline.
Please.
I kind of feel like on her introduction, you should lead with the tattoo.
Yeah. All right, so Jillian, I don't know what approach you took, but you say you did talk to your sister about the name for her baby girl. Did you get a positive result, and what was her reaction?
Well, it was a little mixed. I tried to be really sensitive and not attack her about the stupid name Adrenaline. But I basically asked her if she knew that it was a porn star's name.
Okay.
And she was like, no, I didn't know, but it makes sense because her husband's obsessed with porn and loves
great.
porn.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
And
This guy sounds like a
Oh,
gem.
my God.
he really
Okay.
is the worst. My family hates him, and it's just like, I can't believe this. It's
We
really
all
happening.
hate him. Yeah, I get it.
It's really, I mean, I don't know. Ina's my sister. I love her, but
Yeah.
oof. So like she was basically like, I don't really care. She said she doesn't think it's a big deal. Like
Okay.
no one's gonna know. And if they did know, then they like the porn star.
Wow.
So it's like I don't know what her logic is based on. It's
Okay,
just
so if they
messed up.
actually know Adrenaline is a porn star name, well, you're trashy too because you know it's a porn star name and you probably don't even care.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's like. Okay, well then they know who
Yeah.
that famous person is, and she's making a lot of money, and like whatever. I don't know. It's just messed up. But like the thing is, my parents hate her husband already.
Yes.
So I don't know how this is really going to go down because there's no way it's going to be a secret. I mean, you even found out like it's easy to find out who Adrenaline is.
Yeah, I wonder because you said you made it sound like your family, your side, not his side, but your side is pretty buttoned up and pretty conservative.
Yeah, I mean they're not. They're like, they're not like totally conservative, but they're not into porn, and they would not be into their granddaughter be named after a porn star with a tattoo on her asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I look at my parents are very conservative, and if they heard the name Adrenaline, they wouldn't think anything except like they know what adrenaline is. They'd be like, okay, that's a very intense name, but there's no way my parents would connect.
And most people won't.
The dots.
They won't.
And could you say, well, you can call her Drenna. She can go by Lynn.
Most people are going to think you just basically named your daughter after Adrenaline, like you're a sports junkie or something. Or you're an extreme junkie.
And put all the porn star stuff aside. It's a stupid name. It's dumb.
I would love to. I really would love because I'm putting together a profile of what her sister's husband is all about. It's not flattering, but I'm just kind of curious if everything I'm thinking about this guy is true.
What do you got in your head? I want to see if it lines up with what I got.
I have just got. He's got trashy tattoos.
He thinks he's muscly, but he's really fat.
Yes, I also
Yeah,
feel like
okay.
if he drinks more than 6 beers, he gets really, really red/pink.
He only drinks beer by the pitcher.
I'd say, yeah, I'm putting together a profile. It's not flattering, and it may be, I don't know, maybe it's wrong.
He names his dong. He might even
Yes,
have,
he does.
Yeah, he's extreme.
What else is this guy doing? He does not have a quiet vehicle.
No.
His vehicle, whatever he drives, he's got truck nuts, and he's probably got that truck that goes "Brrr," and it like does the fart thing where the black smoke comes out.
He gets mad because there's a ladies' night. You don't want equal rights. He gets mad about that.
Yeah.
He doesn't tip at the strip club. He goes, but he doesn't tip.
And he expects a sandwich to be ready for him every time he gets home from work.
Oh, yeah. And he calls servers that are female, hey, hun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got
Sweetie.
him. We see you.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fun.
Virginia, how much would you dig your heels in if your husband Panda came to you and you got pregnant with a baby girl and he wanted to name it after a porn star?
No, there's no way.
Would you take it all the way to I'm divorcing you and this is not going to happen?
No, but I would take it all the way to you're not naming this kid after a porn star. I wouldn't divorce him, but it's just not happening.
She would take it all the way to the point, I'm going to ruin your life publicly on the air.
I think I've already done that.
Yeah, again.
Again, deeper.
Everybody's now trying to help with the profile of Jillian's brother-in-law, the guy who wants to name his daughter after a famous porn star, Adrenaline. What this guy's all about. Apparently, he is obsessed with porn. That was the quote that came back. Obsessed with it. That's quite a term for that.
It paints a picture,
It
doesn't
does. Yeah.
Don't let it bleed into like other areas. You can do your thing, but you don't have to name your child after a porn star. Now it's bleeding into other areas. I don't like it.
Keep it together, dude.
Well, somebody asked a question. So whenever this dad says his daughter's name, is he going to be thinking of porn? And he's like, come here, Adrenaline.
That's creepy.
It is. Yeah, that is creepy. Some people said, yes, this guy definitely only wears tap-out clothing. And he probably looks a lot like Skinny from Breaking Bad. Do you remember the real scrawny dude that wore the wife beater?
I do.
Shirts? Scrawny dude, obviously drug problems. And somebody said, too, huge difference between knowing a porn star's name and naming your daughter after a porn star. So
there's not one person that's agreeing with this clown.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, but, hey, I guess you're just the sister, and, they're going to do what they're going to do, I guess. So, but there are variations you can shorten it up for the family, so it's probably a smart thing to do. Let me see. Somebody said, Kev, what are your thoughts if your son Colin brings home a girl with this name? I would just think that she's intense. I didn't know it was a porn star name.
And it's not everyone's going to be naming it after a porn star. People, I guarantee you that name's out there, and they have no idea who the porn star is.
You're right, because it is kind of like, Adrena Lynn.
I get it.
Honestly, I'd probably be like, oh, it's pretty.
It's intense and pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you come from
But
an
none
intense...
of us would have thought of the porn star.
Yeah, you're an extreme family. You like to jump out of planes and do all that extreme stuff with adrenaline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, just a thought. All right, anything you want to add to it? 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Okay, a dilemma here. How do you handle it? Says a lot about you. This is going around on Reddit. Now, imagine this. You're in the middle of a terrible round of bowel issues. You got the diarrhea, Virginia.
Oh, no.
And then as you're sitting there right in the midst of making yourself feel better, the fire alarm goes off. What do?
I mean, you're in the middle of it. You're not done. You're not even at the All-Star break.
Not even at the apex?
Yeah, you are just
climbing the mountain?
Just getting into your zone.
It's a panic situation, but how do you handle this stressful environment?
And the one thing you got to be thinking about, too, is this even a real alarm?
Right, because more times than not, it's a false alarm.
If it's not a false alarm, you hear people screaming out in the hallway, what's your move?
Oh, my gosh. If I think there's any chance it's a fire, I am definitely pinch and run.
But even though you might have to still go?
I'm going to have to figure it out when I get to a safe area.
If and I handle this depending upon what the stressful situation is. If it is a fire, I got a little bit of time. So I take care of what I need to take care of as quickly as I possibly can, and then I leave on a fire alarm.
Okay, if there was a fire in the lobby and the 5th floor's on fire, you still think you have enough time?
I feel like I got a minute to readjust.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
If the fire's in the lobby, I'm on the 5th floor?
Yeah, the lobby up here, right here. It's got to the lobby here in the 5th floor. You're at the bathroom. I don't know if I finished. I'm trying to get my butt out of here.
I can tidy up and be done very quickly. I can come to a stopping point and I can get there, but yes, I take care of that. Now, it changes depending upon what the danger might be. If somebody's yelling bomb or active shooter, all of a sudden, all bets are off.
I mean, if someone screams that active shooter, I think you just poop right away.
You're
done.
I get in the ceiling. We got these drop ceilings. I can pop up there real fast.
That's a good idea. Could I get in that? Are those things? If you push up, can you get in that thing?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, but they don't hold your weight. That's the thing.
Well, you got to find where the metal and the reinforcements are.
You can see there's no moving room. It's like you've got metal right above it.
I could get in there. I could definitely get in there. Virginia, without a doubt, could get in there. Riggy, you might be a little too bulky.
Yeah, no, that's not going to hold you.
Find a corner. That's where you go. Lift up that and
you ain't going to fit in that corner.
Sit on the beam.
The corner, I'm not going to fit into. Too much holiday weight. I gotta go. I might have to go in the middle.
He was taken out by lemon pound cake.
I disagree with Riggy. I think you can't get in that ceiling.
Well, that won't hold. You have to find the beam. You have to get like on some kind of structural reinforced. Yeah, that stuff that's holding the tiles in place, that would hold 50 pounds maybe.
The
tops.
edge of the room and the corner of the room, that's where I go.
Well, when I lifted that up, there was some type of piping or some type of beam up there. You just hold on to that thing. I don't know. I think I got my plan, dog. If it all goes down.
If it all goes down.
If Virginia says something crazy and people storm the radio station.
You know what happened? He would crash through the tile on top of the active shooter. You'd actually save the day.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Gosh, that would be awesome.
He accidentally takes out the shooter.
Mr.
He's an accidental hero.
Brilliant.
I love it.
Okay. Well, coming up here in just a bit. All right. You have to confess to some awkward situations here. Now, we all do stuff that, we probably wouldn't want to admit to. But don't act like you never. How many things could you add to this list? Like, for instance, go see what your exes are up to on Facebook.
I mean, are we raising our hand blindly?
Yeah.
Like we do on the, is this one of those polls?
I think maybe it's a raise your hand type poll, yeah.
It's fun.
Okay, don't act like you never. We'll see that. You can see the action going on in here. Who's raising their hand to what?
It ain't always fun. If you still got feelings, you see the new pictures.
Damn.
Someone's walking down.
Who you still got feelings for, baby? Who?
In the past, I
Who
did.
broke it?
All of his ex-girlfriends are now turning up the radio.
In the past.
Listening carefully.
What's her name?
You know
Who,
her name.
Jbird?
Oh, you know her name.
You still have feelings?
No, this was a while ago when I was Facebook stalking. And I was doing that, and I saw some pictures that made you go like this.
You're at least 43% female.
Oh, I was raised by women. What do you want from me?
All right, we'll raise our hands and confess to some things that probably a lot of you have done yourself. You want to see who's doing it? Just check out KVJ TV on YouTube right now.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Something that probably a lot of us do that not a lot of people want to admit that they do, but we will. Raise your hand if this applies to you. Have you ever gone and Googled or Facebooked or Instagrammed your exes to see what they're up to or what's going on, given that an attempt? Raise your hand if you have done that. 4 out of 5 KVJ Show members.
Thank you all for being so brave.
Yes.
Telling your story.
Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to do this. All these things.
Oh, yeah. Don't do it. The later at night you do it, I think the weirder it gets for your thoughts. Trust me.
And are you drinking?
Well, that doesn't help either.
Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever fantasized about an ex while with your spouse or your partner. Has that ever happened? If it has, raise your hand if this applies to you. Okay. 1 out of 5. Less on that one.
I mean, the history of life? That's what you're asking?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever pretended to finish while making sweet love just to get it over with.
Oh, jeez. Am I the only one?
Well, I think we know who that is.
Some of it was alcohol related.
1 out of 5.
Some of it's like it goes on so long, it's almost like a workout, and you get tired. You know?
Bragger.
Yeah.
I know, right?
And Dennys
Don't we wish we had that problem?
He's very against workouts.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, raise your hand if you've ever had a cousin who you thought was hot enough that you might possibly get it on with them.
This is a loaded question, I feel like.
Why is this a loaded question?
You know what? We'll talk about it, right?
Okay, yeah, we can. We can hit it up later. Yeah. 2 out of 5. Then, yeah, it would be possible. Not that you even necessarily have, but you're going, okay, yeah.
Well, this bit's tough because in the moment you look like a pervert and a deviant, but maybe you got to defend yourself and explain some things.
Okay.
It's easy to judge, Virginia. And when I see those eyeballs judging.
Oh, I love to look over at you and judge. It's my sport.
Okay, raise your hand if you've ever ogled somebody who might have just been barely legal. Like they were probably just over the age of 18. And you're like, they're kind of hot. You don't know. Could have been not.
Like
It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, ID people.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
I mean, I guess in the history of life.
Yeah, in the history of going with the history of life.
Okay, now we're all honest. Okay, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, there's an explanation.
Took everybody a while.
Well, I mean,
because you kind of softened the question.
Everybody a while.
It's hard to come to terms with the fact that you're creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all have a little bit of creepy in us. Okay, couple other ones here. Raise your hand if you've ever looked in the toilet after going number 2.
That's how you tell if you're healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's standard. That's 5 out of 5.
You're supposed to.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, well, because now that Doc Oz and Oprah have let me know what my poo is supposed to look like, I really do grade them. I'm like, oh, that's an A. That's an A right there. Doc Oz would be proud of that one. And this only applies to some show members here. Only 2 out of the 5. So we'll see out of 2 out of the 5. Raise your hand if you have had a kid that you like better than your other kids? Raise your hand.
I can only play that if it's coworkers.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably standard. I think with parents that it probably rotates, typically, unless you just have a terrible kid that is just driving you absolutely insane, and you have one that's a complete angel who does everything right.
You don't think if parents were completely honest, they don't have a favorite child?
Yeah, probably a lot of them do. You know, and I'm wondering, because you look at certain things, I think sometimes you have kids that you just have more in common with. I was actually even thinking about this with, Kobe and his kids and looking at all of his children. Beautiful, and I'm sure he was an amazing dad from the appearances of it, and I think was great with all of his daughters. But he really seemed, the daughter that, passed away with him, Gianna, they had a connection in basketball. He had a daughter that's older than Gianna, who's 13?
Yeah,
so he has an older daughter.
And she does volleyball.
Yes. So I'm sure there is still a connection there, and he loves her very much. But the fact that he is like, okay, Gianna, he actually went out and trademarked Mambacita. Like she was going to take on his Black Mamba, motif and everything about him. And so there's no way in his heart of hearts had to say, wow, she is coming up. She is the little Kobe. She is loves all of his daughters, no doubt. But he has a special connection with her.
But he said, like, her, at his age, he wasn't as good as basketball as she was at that same age. So, I mean, he was giving her major basketball cred.
Yeah. So there's a definite connection that's going to happen there.
Sure.
That doesn't happen with some of the other daughters, either because of age or because they chose a different path. So I think, honesty there, those are the kind of things where that'd be a situation where you would admit that, you have. So.
There's no doubt about it. I'm the favorite kid.
I think your mom
It's not even close. No, I think that's true.
It's not even close. She loved her some Jbird.
No, I'm kidding, sort of.
You can be honest.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah.
So many people on meth. Ow!
Well, just because you're drunk and you want a divorce doesn't mean you can get it by calling 911.
That's not how you get one.
That's not how you get a divorce, no. Unfortunately, a 69-year-old woman in Largo, Florida did not realize that on Thursday night. She repeatedly called 911. She said, I need to get a divorce from my husband. Cops finally had to go to her house because she wouldn't stop calling 911, and she herself was arrested, so.
That's got to be tough, though, if someone's distraught and going through it, and they just want to talk to somebody.
You got to call a lawyer, lady.
I hear you. No,
not 911.
I get it. But I'm just saying, I bet there's sometimes when you have to arrest somebody and you kind of feel bad for them.
Sure.
There's a man in New Jersey who's accused of exposing himself on his front lawn. He had a good excuse, though. He said that his junk was out because his testes were, quote, raw and needed lotion. So, hey.
You got to go inside and rub those things. You can't do that in the yard. Come on, dude.
For sure. Get some aloe on them things.
I think that's what he's trying to do. He just wanted to do it where everybody else could see.
We know what he wanted to do.
Yeah, we're not buying it.
Not buying it, huh?
He likes an audience.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a naked man that got arrested after trying to board a school bus with children on it in Arkansas. Could you imagine that, Virginia?
What the hell?
Yeah, he walked across a highway naked, then tried to get on a school bus. So he was taken to the hospital before he was arrested. He's been charged with disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, and possession of marijuana.
Oh, yeah, that one's creepier than the first one.
They're not going to get him on any kind of indecency around kids?
Yeah, I don't...
Come on, Arkansas.
Yeah.
There should be some added on charges that he tried to get on a school bus full of children naked.
Well, it sounded like at first they thought it was maybe a mental health issue, and then the fact that he was arrested, it's probably more like he maybe had something in his marijuana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. A man in Texas was having severe headaches, and it turned out that they were actually being caused by a tapeworm in his brain.
Oh my gosh. How did he get it?
They think it was eating pork in Mexico.
Whoa.
That's the only thing you could pinpoint that, yeah, might have been suspect.
You just go out for a little dinner one night, and now you've got brain worms.
Yeah. So maybe watch the puerca in Mexico. It might not be cooked enough.
I mean, how do you ever know that the food you're eating, unless you've cooked it, is cooked right?
Oh, even then.
You have to just trust.
Yeah. Maybe that's where you go plant-based.
I don't want no brain worms.
Mm-hmm.
Horrifying.
Yeah, doctors were able to remove it, and now he immediately felt better. This must have been an interesting sight. Cop in Wisconsin pulled over the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
What was it doing?
Apparently, the driver didn't move to the side of the road for an emergency vehicle. He wound up only getting a warning, but yeah, just seeing a cop pulling over the Wienermobile, be like, look at that. That's great.
Sometimes you can't get over, and you want to, but you can't.
Yeah.
That Wienermobile is long.
Oh, I hear you. Well, that's what she said. An Ohio man who owns an east of Chicago pizza restaurant is taking heat after posting a billboard that read, "Fat people are harder to kidnap." Now, apparently the man has always used funny slogans for his billboards, and he said that he talked with his coworkers about his recent slogan, and nobody seemed to have an issue with it. He had the billboard up for several weeks until somebody complained.
Well, I mean, it was on social media. Someone saw it, and then once someone got mad on social media, here comes everybody else.
Yes, they complained to the company headquarters about it.
Look, as a former fatty and a current one working on coming back to the team, I gotta tell you, I'm not offended.
And it's a fact, right? I mean, if something is heavier, it's harder to pick up.
If you tried to kidnap me when I was 170 compared to when I was 240, the 240 fatter Jbird would have been harder to kidnap.
Yeah.
They said that it was rude and that it mocked fat people and even kidnapping, which is not something you should be joking about.
I mean, we can't even take a joke.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Give me more of these stories of people getting offended over nothing.
And with that, a new survey says more than 8 in 10 consumers say that political correctness has gone too far and that today everybody's offended by the smallest thing.
It's true. It's true. And I'm wondering if it's going to swing back the other way.
Yes.
Do you think?
I would think that it probably will, where we start saying, okay, let's choose a little bit more carefully what it is we get. I hope so, but you know, I think what it takes is you just have to realize there's always going to be people that are going to be offended and ultimately don't care. You shouldn't. Be like going, I'm sorry. You can't go through life not offending anybody. And I think a lot of these corporations and companies, that's the biggest problem is, you know, sometimes you shouldn't always just flip and bend whatever with the person who's the least bit offended. Sometimes stand up to something and stand by something and say, look, you're drawing, that's a real big stretch for you to make the conclusion to think that we would ever think that kidnapping is funny or condone kidnapping or whatever. So we obviously don't buy into that, but clearly you're not smart enough to figure out that that's the case.
And just because you don't find it funny and you're offended, why are you right?
Exactly. Because you actually need to loosen up.
It's
and
like you've
learn.
yeah.
Well, I just know when I leave the house, there's going to be at least 30% of stuff I don't agree with, that annoys me, that I don't like. That's just, it's like brushing your teeth. You have to accept those are the rules of the world, right?
You can't make the world perfect to fit to whatever you think it should be. The world is going to disappoint you on a daily basis.
You're going to always be complaining.
Always complaining, always mad, always upset. Like, who cares? It's a joke promoting a pizza place. They want you to eat more pizza because they want to sell more pie.
But
like, what is that hurting?
Someone's going to say, yeah, well, I have weight to me, and I have weight on my body, and that hurts my feelings, and it made me feel triggered. But then on the other end, someone like me who had weight on their body, I would never be mad or upset about that. It's crazy.
We're getting soft, Bird.
Well, a lot of people are not into it. 80% of people say that it's gone too far. So,
Good.
hey, when you've got those kind of numbers backing you up, stop apologizing for every little person that's offended by every little thing that you might do.
And that's kind of like life. Think about your life. If you work with 20 people, there's probably 20% that you're not going to mesh with, just on a personality level.
You're right.
That's it. And this is a positive for humanity and society. A woman was pinned under an SUV after a car accident in New York City on Sunday. And a group of almost a dozen strangers ran over and lifted the SUV off of her.
I saw this video. It was crazy.
It is. Yeah, it's on the news. Yeah, she was taken to the hospital, and apparently she only wound up with some bruises.
Wow.
Which is absolutely stunning and amazing.
She's like under the car, and all these dudes are like, rah. They lift the car up in the air and get her out.
Yeah. There you go. That's society doing it right. So there is hope yet.
You knew she was going to be okay because right after they pulled her out, she was on her phone. You're like, oh, she must not be that hurt.
She'll be all right.
She bounced under that car.
Yep.
She's fine. She on Facebook.
She on Facebook. Okay, did that video get uploaded? Did everyone see it? How many likes does it have?
Mm-hmm. Got a text here. Somebody would like a little thought on. Said, my boyfriend and I got into a huge fight last night due to the fact that he decided to make a joke about Kobe Bryant's death. I feel like making a joke about somebody's death, especially right after it happens, is not normal. Now it has me questioning his whole character and what kind of person he is. Am I being dramatic over the whole situation? This is a make-up or breakup situation here that she's wanting to know over the fact that he's cracking Kobe jokes.
I know a lot of people that would probably crack a joke, not because they're trying to be mean, but that's how they deal with it. Sometimes they will say a joke to break down the awfulness of a situation. And I know a lot of great people who make bad jokes sometimes. Just because they make a bad joke, I don't think you can throw them away.
And just tell him, I don't really like that. So please, let's not deal with the death of Kobe by you joking about it because I'm just not ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't break up with him over that. He might just be uncomfortable and not know how to say how he feels.
But these are the kind of things that as you're dating and you're trying to figure things out, that you start to put together a profile of what you like and what you don't like. And this would be something that you don't like, and know that he's one of those people that if it offends you or you're very sensitive to these kind of jokes, then this is going to be something that would, go into the negative column.
So you tell him that, and you make him aware that you don't think it's funny and you think it's inappropriate and it makes you upset. And then you watch and see how he behaves in the future.
But you're right, though. In the beginning of dating somebody, you have this list of, all right, that goes onto the, I don't know if I like that part of the list. Oh, I like that. And then that's
this is definitely in the negative category.
For her.
Yeah.
Again, for me, I wouldn't be offended because sometimes I deal with death that way. I mean, I just know some of my relatives, they would make possibly a potentially terrible joke just to make people laugh because it's a terrible. I mean, even with family members that have passed on, we have made jokes to get through the pain.
Yes.
Now, do I recommend doing that joke at church in front of a bunch of... No.
No, but when you have a group that is close-knit and you know that it would play okay, and it is a way for you to try to... Because it's... Sometimes grief is so ridiculously like, you just can't even process it well. You're just like, the whole Kobe thing would be one of those situations where it's just so you can't even process his death.
I remember when my mom passed away, I made a joke with my family. It was a kind of a morbid joke. They all laughed because that's how we kind of...
My family's that way too.
That's how we are. We get offended about stuff, but we get offended about when you take our food.
Yes. But just know that that may be something that shows you that maybe he is not the right guy for me. I would not go as far as to have it be any judgment on his character or anything like that. I don't think that you're morally bankrupt if you're cracking jokes right after somebody dies. It's just a style and the way that you cope. It's a coping mechanism.
You're set different.
Yeah.
You're set different from him, and you just got to tell him, hey, I don't think it's funny, and it just makes me feel weird, and please don't.
And then he comes back with you, I just think you are maybe too much of a stick in the mud. I don't think we're meant for each other.
That could happen too.
Mm-hmm. And somebody commented too, you don't know Kobe. Why are you taking it so personal? You're being dramatic. So there you go. Maybe he's already told you the same thing.
Yeah, but if you were a big fan and if you followed his career and if you followed his team, I mean, I didn't, but I respect the fact that he had tremendous fans that just loved him, loved the man on the court and off.
She's being dramatic.
Oh,
she's being dramatic. Okay. I'm sorry.
But what if she loved him? What if she's a big fan?
Sure, I get it. But, that's just what it is. It's his style.
Oh, then
recognize it.
Someone's going to email the show and say, I'm being too cold. It keeps going around, baby. That's what this...
Well, it's a sign that, maybe, hey, depending upon how important this is to you, maybe you aren't good together.
Yeah.
He's got a different style of humor than you do. And I got to tell you, humor is one of the most important things when it comes to a relationship. That to me, for me, in my relationship, I think with my wife, it's probably our number one thing. If we did not, and I've been with people and we didn't sync up with the sense of humor, and I just realized after time, it's not going to work out.
You always tell the story about one of your exes, how you had to leave a room if you had to fart, and there was kind of a fart ban in your relationship.
Yeah.
You can't be with that kind of person. If one's really pro-fart, one's anti-fart to the point where they don't find them funny at all, good luck making that
I
work.
realized for me after time, sense of humor was number one most important thing in a relationship. I have to be somebody that, can laugh and I can laugh with.
And have fun.
Yes. And if we didn't, then it's like, no, it's a sentence if it's not.
And I also kind of come from the school sometimes, pain, comedy helps you get through pain. But that's my setting.
Yeah. But then be and surround yourself then with people that feel that way. And if you're somebody that's like, you never joke about death, then surround yourself with people like that.
And too, we don't even know what the joke was.
True. Yeah. So maybe share that. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
If it's not, see, I'd be more angry
joke.
if it's not funny at all.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going, wow, that's like crass and it's not funny. That I'd be more angry about.
Did you miss a segment from the KVJ Show? Find it on kvjshow.com or soundcloud.com/KVJ Show.
It's really been kind of interesting, the reactions of people with the passing of Kobe Bryant. Yesterday we talked about it where Tom had sent us an email and he was just not getting it. He's like, how do people grieve for somebody that they did not even know? I don't get it. And to me, the only explanation is sometimes you just don't get certain things. Like, I don't get TikTok.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
When you guys talk about the royal family, I don't get it. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way anyone's interested in this.
Oh my God, I love TikTok and the royal family.
I tune out with a lot with what you say.
I wish the royal family had a TikTok.
Oh, I mean, as soon as you guys go into the royal family, I'm over here on Facebook stalking my ex.
So sometimes that's just going to be the case. But, for others, like I had said just briefly, I don't want to rehash all of it, for Tom's sake, is that you feel like you know somebody as much as you see them and you identify with them. And sometimes you mold and shape your life after what they stand for. And Kobe Bryant could have been one of those people. I told you how I shaped my work ethic by watching Pete Rose and how he played baseball back in the day. I was a kid, grew up in that area. They were winning world championships. And my dad was like, see how that guy plays? That's how you attack everything in life. And that stuck with me. And I think that Kobe Bryant was one of those people. It was the Mamba mentality. I saw lots of hashtags on that. And now somebody had sent us a social media post. They said, yeah, there are a lot of people that are kind of grief-shaming people, saying, you didn't even know these people. Why are you so upset? Somebody said that I've been struggling all day with the posts from people complaining about others expressing their grief over Kobe Bryant. I have gotten in 4 Facebook fights.
Oh, no.
From people belittling others for grieving. Yeah, they're belittling another human being because they're feeling grief. It is as if they think there is a scarcity of grief, that somehow if I feel grief for a celebrity, there will be none left for regular people when they die. It is as if they think you can only grieve a certain amount and then poof, the grief tank is dry, and don't you feel stupid for using all your grief on a basketball player that you didn't even know? Grief doesn't work that way. To me, grief equals love. So your capacity to grieve shows me your capacity to love. And perhaps that is the real lesson these people are showing us. Consider it noted.
Well, I think you nailed it earlier. You said if you're into something, you've spent time with something, you have passionate people who are passionate about Kobe Bryant, they're gonna miss the hell out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like me. Billy Joel died. I'd be sad about it. I never met him before.
And there's sometimes where that happens too, where it's the weirdest passing of somebody that strikes somebody in a way that you're like going, wait, you're really upset that person, like, why?
And then there's other times where somebody passes away and you want to feel sadness and you feel numbness, and that messes with your head.
Right. You like, I should be crying, but I'm not.
And you definitely miss that person, but for whatever reason, it's not, your grief bone isn't reacting, but you do miss and you are sad. I ain't got the answers.
It's complex. It's hard to understand. But I thought this was interesting. I saw there's a story out today. Olivia Munn, who I know, Jbird, you like her work.
She's adorable.
Yeah, she revealed that she was working with Kobe Bryant before his death, that they were supposed to meet this week to brainstorm more parts of this project they were working on together, that the project was to come up with like a book and things supporting that would help kids be less afraid of death.
Really? How
crazy is that? That is the project that Kobe Bryant was going to be taking on this week, is working with kids and how they handle death and to understand it better.
We do have a very big hang up here in the Western culture when it comes to death. Not all cultures are like that. I mean, some you celebrate the death. And for us here, I think we are very afraid. I mean, we talk about it a lot in the Weird and Whatever podcast, and some people don't like it. I'll get emails or comments, go, Bird, keep it upbeat. But to me, I think it's something you should talk about. There's that whole practice of dying while you're alive through meditation. And I was a person who was very, very, very afraid of death. And I started doing that practice. I'm not saying I'm not afraid of death, but it did kind of helped me slightly. A little bit. I'm still scared of death. But it's a practice you do just so you're not so shocked by the whole concept of it.
Something that so far every human being who's ever been around for a certain amount of time has gone through.
That's the one thing we all got in common, my friend.
So it's something that we're all going to have to be dealing with. Somebody texted in and said, for people who just don't understand it too, what's connecting is the dad side of the story. Relating to having that relationship with the daughter. I coached my daughter in softball, and, there is a special bond between a father and a daughter that if you're looking at that story, that makes you sad for that reason, and seeing the connection that they had together, that he was working with her that way. So I think that's a big part of it too.
It's like anything. If you're not involved in it, if you have no emotional connection, you're not going to understand it. You're not going to get it.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. And, somebody else said too, I mean, thinking about his wife, she was with Kobe Bryant starting at the age of 17.
Wow.
17. That is her whole life, and that is all she's known. And now here she is with, 3 other daughters, that now she's got to explain all this stuff that her dad was going to be working on a project this week to try to explain to them. It's now been handed off to Vanessa Bryant, where she's got to then, maybe she'll be connecting Olivia Munn and saying, hey, what were you guys working on? What was the project? I want to get involved with it because I'm having to deal with this myself.
Sure.
So I think that's why and what it is. But, as they often say on social media, don't tell me how to live my life.
Yeah, and I think we all can agree. No more royal talk, right? No more royal wedding. No more. Haven't they been married forever now?
I don't know. They're not in the royals so much anymore, which makes them more fascinating.
I think maybe one of the big problems they're saying is with Hard Rock Stadium, they're hosting so many other things. They got the Miami Open. They're trying to do a Grand Prix thing. And in 2026, they're going to be hosting some World Cup games. And so they're just saying, I mean, when are you going to squeeze everything in? Because I guess the NFL wants to take over the stadium. They want to set all this stuff up and get it all ready. And, it's a to-do. It's a big project. That whole field that you're going to see on Sunday on TV, they grew that grass specifically just for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's all new.
It's all new. So no one has ever played on that.
Wow.
That's going to be it. It's going to be like a one and done, on that. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff that they got set up with the Super Bowl. So it's on. Last night was kind of the kickoff that they had at Marlins Park. Tonight is a little bit more quiet. But then if you start looking into tomorrow, they fire up the Super Bowl experience at the Miami Beach Convention Center again. Snoop Dogg, he, I think, is doing about 6 shows.
Wow.
Or at least making 6 appearances.
So is he going to rap?
I think a lot of it's he's DJing.
Do you remember a song? I believe it was off his first album, G's and Hustlers. This is for the G's and this is for the hustlers. This is for the hustlers. Now back to the G's.
Yeah, I kind of do remember that.
That's my jam. I wish we could play that on RMF.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that. So I think that's a lot of what he's going to be doing. DaBaby, like some of these guys have multiple events in the same night. Rick Ross is going to be doing several things. DJ Khaled has got like 8 things.
It's kind of a sweet gig if all you have to do is show up. Maybe if you have to push a few buttons behind the DJ booth, that's kind of sweet too. And you don't have to perform.
If you don't have to perform, it's such an easy gig.
You just go there paid to party.
Well, you're there just to eat and drink and just be seen.
And what I'm starting to see now, because I've been putting together these lists, is every day I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something else. And just yesterday, they sent me, the Post Malone show that I was, telling you about, like the starting ticket was $500. They just added Kevin Hart's going to be the host.
Wow.
And then a big NFL player named Von Miller is going to be there. So like every day as these celebrities start coming in, they're behind the scenes working on deals to say, hey, we'll give you, I'm sure with Kevin Hart, be like, hey, I'll give you $100,000 if you show up at this party and host it, or $500,000 or whatever. Yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so they're going to be adding all these celebrities. So you might actually go to one of these events and have no idea, and a massive, like, oh my gosh, Kevin Hart's hosting it. So That's kind of sucks.
Because he's going to be in town anyway, so why not make $500,000?
Yeah, that's how they're looking at it.
Who would you be more shocked at if you see walk out Kevin Hart or Kevin Ralston?
At the Post Malone party?
I
Kevin Ralston.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
because how did he get in?
Kevin Ralston's
I
in.
know he didn't pay for that ticket.
How did this guy get in? All they're offering me is a chance to sign up for red carpet media passes, where I get to yell at the people coming in and take a photo of them.
But you can't go in.
No, there's no going in. And I'm not even sure I'm going to get that. So that's all I got. Like I said, there are some free events and cool things to check out. The one thing that I'm going to be doing on Friday, we did the Miami Beach Convention Center. I'll post up some photos of that, but that's cool. But the prices do go up. Thursday night, we're doing the Super Clematis by Night. That is a free event. We're going to be announcing Smash Mouth on stage. It's 7:30. And then on Friday, I'm doing the celebrity basketball game at Rick Case Arena. That is at Nova Southeastern. They got some good celebrities on that list, including they just added Logan Paul.
Oh.
My son Cannon is the YouTube star.
Are you bringing Cannon?
Yeah, Cannon's going.
Okay.
So you're involved in that? You're actually going to be...
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
involved if I can get a ticket and sit in the seats.
Oh, okay. You are hosting it.
Yeah, nah.
As involved as you can be on the Ticketmaster app.
So we're just trying to get you in just to watch.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I'm getting in. If I don't get a ticket, I'm not going in. So that's what I got. Yet, if you want the Super Bowl E-Blast, we're going to be sending that out probably again tomorrow. You can go to kvjshow.com. It's also the link on top of our Facebook page and also on our Twitter page.
Do you need more KVJ Show? Find everything KVJ at kvjshow.com.
Well, this just seems lazy. Somebody sent us a text and said, hey, look, I know it's not Monday, but I've got to call them out. I want to call out the employee who made my buffalo chicken wrap yesterday and used whole chicken wings, bones and all.
Oh, damn. You
Now
can't put that on a sandwich or a wrap.
Okay, now,
Hey, what?
that's what I support calling out on social media.
Is that the most negligent food crime you've ever seen?
Nah, it's up there.
I mean, come on. You put with the bones on the wrap?
The one time where
What?
the pizza they forgot to put the sauce on it. That was rough.
I got a press-on fingernail in my water, which I thought, how did you not know? But maybe you didn't know. So
Maybe.
part of me was, okay, is that completely a negligent food crime, or was it just like they later were like, oh, I wonder what happened to my nail? Oh, well. Like I've had that happen with a Band-Aid. You ever have like a Band-Aid
It's rough, man. Band-Aids in general are just gnarly.
disappear?
Ugh.
I never want to see a used Band-Aid, ever. It doesn't matter where it is or what it's doing. I don't want to see it.
A used Band-Aid is one of the gnarliest things.
Well, I mean, that's enough to where you never, ever go back to that restaurant ever again. You'll never go back.
Yeah, no, I never went back to that breakfast place.
Yeah, that same thing. My brother had that one of those icy polar thingies back in the day, and he's eating it, and he thought it was a lemon, and it was a toenail. The grossest, most yellow toenail. And it was in his mouth.
Okay, how do you get a toenail in that?
He took the icy.
That's negligent.
Threw it as far as he was so mad, and rightfully so. It was the grossest toenail.
Are you sure it just wasn't a big thumbnail?
We looked at it for quite a bit of time. This was in like 1989 in Lake Park. And if there was ever a time where a city,
it could have been a wide thumb.
It was a toenail, Virginia, or the grossest, widest thumbnail. It was.
I don't know. It just makes me feel better thinking it was a thumb. If it's a toe, like what the hell?
I mean, you're right. We didn't DNA it. It could have been but then it would have been a gross fat thumb.
Somebody texted in and said, we ordered Mexican at work and somebody got a piece of metal in their burrito.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a button in my sandwich before.
I mean, that can't be an accident, right?
Well, I think sometimes if a chef's in there, a button could fall off, and even a piece of metal could fall off the table.
It's true.
If you're not being careful. Like, imagine me as a chef. You know how many thingies you would find in your food?
I mean, half the food would be metal.
Oh, I'd lead the league in metal thingies in my food.
And think about it. The hood with all those screws and bolts right above, like the cooktop.
Yeah.
Metal could fall off of that, and he might not have even
Yeah,
seen it.
I think that's the first question I have. have, is this intentional or is it accidental?
I think it's accidental.
The one time I was at that restaurant and I'm eating it, and I'm going, what the hell is in here? And there was a big old glob of ice cream. Someone took a big thing of ice cream in my burger to mess with me. And again, joke on them, it tasted amazing. I loved it.
I loved it.
They were trying
Free
to mess
ice
with
cream.
you,
They were.
but they actually made your day.
Oh, they really did.
Yeah. So, yeah, who do you blame? Somebody said, yeah, one time I found a baby cockroach in my burrito.
Oh.
Ann and my mom, they were eating at a Chinese buffet, and they were looking down on the rice, and there's all these baby roaches in there. They complained, and then they said my mom and Ann put them in the rice.
The people at the restaurant blamed your mom for bringing her own roaches?
I know I told that story a lot, but only because they told it to me every single day of my life as well. they couldn't let that one go.
I had a maggot in a lettuce wrap.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that?
And I've never been to that restaurant ever. People always ask me what that restaurant.
I go back. I don't know why.
People, and I tell them off the air where it was.
But I would think it's accidental, right? I think there's probably some negligence to get to that point. You shouldn't have maggots crawling around your chicken, but
Right.
To me,
there's negligence that you have the maggot, and that's my problem. Different from the metal in your taco. That could have fallen accidentally into the cook pot. But maggots, that means that something is rotting and you're not keeping up with your stuff. Get your house in order.
I'm with the witch on this one. I would much rather have a metal sandwich than, because that's a specific incident with the maggots and all that.
It could be a screw from the pot.
yeah.
You know?
And it's a shame. Yeah. I like that restaurant too. I really do. But I cannot get my head out
Really?
of it. I will not go back.
Great
You
Bloody
had
Marys.
a maggot, and
Yeah.
after you had that maggot,
was moving, yeah.
Because I know the restaurant. I went with a friend, and they had a bug in their salad, and I was like, "That's it, I'm done."
Wow.
They had a bug.
Okay.
It just takes one of those moments. I remember I found a big old spider in my salad for the 5th time at Lake Park Elementary. 5 I'm out. Five spiders, I'm done.
Yeah, they got a
There were-
spider problem.
There were always spiders in the salad bar at Lake Park Elementary. And it sucked because I loved their salad bar, their French dressing. Oh, so good.
Billy in the chat room said, I had a used Band-Aid cooked into my Stromboli.
Oh, hell, it's cooked in. Oh, that means you have Band-Aid essence
So
to that whole
is that
thing.
accidental or is that intentional? Is that lazy?
I think it's accidental and lazy.
But you can't, if you've got a Band-Aid on your body, you can't. You
Yeah.
gotta take that off.
You're
right?
supposed to wrap it.
Right.
So if you have any kind of an injury, you're supposed to wrap it and put a glove on it.
I'm still shocked how many people don't use gloves preparing food in the restaurant industry. It's actually a lot.
Yeah.
Not everyone's wrapping it up.
You're right.
There's
You can't think about it. If you think about it, you just need to go eat at home and cook your own damn food.
That's why I can't sit at a booth where I can see what's going on in the kitchen, because I've seen gross things in the kitchen.
And gross people.
Yeah, and they're I don't know. It was a gross situation. Then you tell someone else in there, and they're not as grossed out. So now you're the complaining one. Now you have to eat gross food.
Seems like everybody's got at least one story.
Yes.
Does every person have one story?
Definitely.
Yes. I have several.
I have several stories.
Yeah, I would say that's probably it. That's the odds on. All right, got one you want to drop on us, 877-979-WRMF. Getting all ready for the Super Bowl and all the fun stuff that goes into it. That is kind of cool, talking a positive note here about food. And our good friend Derek McCrae. He's going to be doing the ribs and all that kind of good
Ribs.
stuff again. Yeah.
Oh, he's got the new restaurant. It's got a drive-through. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been by. Yeah, it's impressive what he's done out there. Yeah, he used to just have the trailer, but yeah, they're going big time.
So proud.
Yeah, if you're not aware of McCrae's Barbecue, they do amazing stuff. And Derek also does really great stuff for the community. And he comes from a legacy of people that have. In fact, his father, Herman, actually started the restaurant, and he was a civil rights advocate back in the 60s. And was always doing great civil fights like that, and would bring in guests like James Brown, Isaac Hayes, Rosa Parks had all eaten at his dad's place when he was doing the McCrae's Barbecue.
Then I must have, I guess, was it his son I went to high school with? Because I definitely went to high school with a McCrae that's involved with the ribs.
Okay, yeah. Might have been, I'm not sure. Could have been Derek's kid.
Okay.
I'm sure it might have been Derek. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it might have been Derek.
It was not Derek.
It wasn't?
Definitely
Might have
not.
been a younger brother, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah. So they've been doing this thing, and he took over, and he's been part of every Super Bowl since 2007. So this is his 14th consecutive year that they've had McRae's Backyard Barbecue.
That's so
as part of the
cool.
Super Bowl. Yeah. He has actually made more Super Bowl appearances than the Miami Dolphins, who've only had 5. And he even has more appearances at the Super Bowl than we've had Super Bowls in Miami with 11, with this one coming up.
That's cool.
Justin Timberlake, Brad Pitt, Wayne Huizenga, Barack Obama have all had his ribs and love them. And normally they say he does about 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of meat, but this year, because it's Miami and people are going so plant-based and everything, only 2,000 pounds of barbecued meat.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they cut it in half this year, but he's still going to be there. So good stuff to go check out.
Get the sweet and hot. I swear it is the best. Get the sweet and hot.
Okay, Virginia's advice right there.
Ribs.
Coming up, you're going to hear this on the After the Show podcast. A mom, Karen, is in shock at the latest viral trend that 6th graders are doing on TikTok. Let me just say, it's really dirty.
Uh-oh.
6th graders?
6th graders.
I know. I mean, 6th graders.
Something I'm going to be looking into, Virginia.
Yeah, you are.
And it's adult content, so we'll do it on the After the Show podcast. But if you got a kid that's doing the TikTok, you definitely need to check it out. It's going to be on our podcast app a little bit later on. You can't hear it on the radio, but you can get it there. Just go find your podcast on your phone. Look for a podcast app. It's purple on your iPhone, or go get the Google Play on the Android. Jbird, before we get to that After the Show podcast and that TikTok story, wrap it all up here with a thought today, my friend.
Sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectation.
Oh, that's true. That's a good one.
Look at you listening to the KVJ show on 97.9 WRMF.